for me, under our rules, we always had an excellent case. You know, and really, there's nothing more to add to that. I felt that under the rules, and given what's been going on the racecourse over the last 5 years, similar instances, I thought we had an excellent chance. I thought our brief was excellent. I thought Graham McPherson argued the case very well, and I was confident that you know, the panel would see it our way. But obviously you can never be sure. To have it taken away on the day was you know, horrendous at the time. I'd had a, you know, it's been a pretty miserable 11 days for those who have to live with me and work for me and with me. I haven't been much fun, that's for sure. And you know, you know, it's a classic, and to have that, you know, there are only 5 classics a year, you know, and that's you know, so to have it taken away on the day, you know, the fact that I come from 20 minutes down the road is slightly academic. You know, whether it was a Guineas or a St. Ledger, I would have, you know, equally important to me, to Andrea, and to Sheikh Fahad. And you know, it was you know, it was a big call by us to supplement her in the first place. Don't forget, this is a filly who won off 82 in June, you know, and it was a huge decision at the time, and we got all our ducks in a row and did everything right, and then to have it taken away was sickening at the time, you know, it really was, and to get it back is terrific, but you know, get it back like this is not really how you want to do it, is it? You know, that's, you know, I'm delighted we have, you know, and justice has been done. I'm thrilled that we've got the result, but it will never be the same as, you know, I've been lucky and fortunate enough to train 3 classic winners. You know, I'm never going to feel about it the same way as I did at the 2 Oaks for the way that it happened. I'm quite happy with the rules as they are. What I would do personally is I would make the suspensions for jockeys longer. Now that's not going to be a popular view, but if you want to cut down on interference on the track, you've got to be tougher on the jockeys. Keep the rule as it is and give them longer suspensions would be my view.
Rick, do you have sympathy for the Doncaster stewards in the 3 hours of evidence? It was clearly a tight judgment call.
Do I have sympathy for the Doncaster?
In the sense that they have
No,
to make
none,
subjective decisions.
none, absolutely none. They completely ignored Bondi Beach's role in the interference. They make no reference to it, but I really don't want to go there. But that's all I would say. They make no reference to Bondi Beach's role in the piece.
Should they be disciplined?
No, of course not. That's a decision, you know, of course they shouldn't be disciplined. You know, that's what they decided on the day. That's what they decided on the day. But to ask me if I have sympathy for them, none.
Rafe, how would you describe your mood now? Because you're obviously, justice has been restored, but you're obviously still bristling.
Understandably, no, I don't know about bristling. Listen, I'm thrilled, Dave. Don't get me wrong. I'm absolutely thrilled. I'm just, you know, with the caveat that, you know, this hasn't been a lot of fun.
When you went back into that room half an hour ago, whatever it was,
yeah,
were you still confident that you were going to win?
No. No. I thought we had an excellent case coming, you know, but after that, you know, and I thought we argued our case very well, and I thought Graham McPherson's role in it was succinct and to the point.
So why were you less confident going back?
Well, because you never know, do you? You never know. You know, they put up a good argument. Would be my response to that.
Right, which part of the case do you think was most compelling? Which part of the case?
I think the fact that the first piece of interference was 2 furlongs out was the most compelling, for me. you were in there, Nick. It was the first question the chairman asked, wasn't it?
Yeah.
And for me, that was the most important part. It was 2 furlongs out. And the fact also, I think the fact also that the incident of the 2 furlong, the half furlong pole was set off by Bondi Beach leaning in on her. You clearly saw her left hind leg come out like that before she went to the right. For me, that was compelling in itself. Now, whether the panel thought that was compelling is slightly academic, but for me, that was compelling.
Because in truth, the panel don't have to feel that the Doncaster stewards have made some horrendous mistake because they start a retrial from scratch. So in essence, they're not saying the Doncaster stewards have made a terrible foul here. It's a question of how you interpret the rules.
Absolutely.
As such, do you think the rules are open to too much interpretation?
No. No, I don't think the rules are open to too much in interpretation. I think the rule is fine as it stands. As I say, I would, if I was in charge, if I was king for a day, I'd just give the jockeys longer suspensions and leave the rules as they are. That's not a popular view, but you know, it might stop some of this in one fell swoop.
But the obvious question then to Andrea, surely, is if that was the case and you knew that it was going to be a month-long suspension or a 6-week-long suspension for a manoeuvre like that, still when you're trying to win the world's oldest classic for your relatively new boss, are you still not going to ride the same way? Or is it going to make a major impact?
Nick, you can't ask him that question. You can't ask him that question because that's changing the rules. You know, what's going to happen if the rules change? You know. The rule hasn't changed.
No, I can ask it because it's your approach to race riding, isn't it? It's the way you approach race riding. So, is it that win at all cost mentality because you know that it's a suspension for you rather than a loss of the classic for your employer?
I think it's a very hard question to answer, really, because it all depends. Obviously, it's a big race, it's a classic, but at the same time, obviously, you have to see what. Obviously, if you've got a big suspension coming up, if you do something bad, you obviously do think about it. But like I said, at the same time, as a classic, as a big race, it's very hard to give an answer to that. It's just, when you're there at the moment, it's just, it's different to sort of give an answer now, really.
I think that is an answer, though, isn't it, Ray?
Yeah, sure.
After that.
Andrea, obviously we saw really hard-to-stomach scenes of your desolation in the jockey's room after the St Ledger. Your biggest win for Sheikh Fahd had been taken away from you. How do you feel now that it's been restored?
I feel relief, really. You know, it's a big thing because obviously we don't win classics every day. Like Brave says, only 5 classics every year. They're very hard to win, and to win on a filly, like Brave says, she was rated 82 3 months ago. For Sheikh Fahd, which is obviously my new job for the 2015, to win a classic for him on my first year, it's massive for me, for the team, everyone involved, really. And to lose it on the day was sort of heartbreaking, really. You know, it's like I said, it was a classic, and on the day I was very, very sad. And then obviously you get home and you think about it, and it's worse things in life, but you know, it's at least we got it back, and have to move forward now.
Did Sheikh Fahd have words of consolation for you in the immediate aftermath of?
Oh, it did. Yeah, it was. Everyone was very good about it. A lot of people. I got more text messages and phone call losing the Ledger than I did last year, probably when I won the Ledger. People were very good to me, and people might don't think like that, but little text messages when they come through, they do sort of lift you up a bit, and which they did. Like I said, a lot of support from a lot of people, and. Sheikh Fahd himself, he was very good about it, and that helps. But you know, it's always in the back of your mind. You know, when you lose a race like that, it's hard to sort of get over it. But listen, we've got it back, so that's the main thing.
Rafe, what's the future for this filly now?
That's under discussion as we speak. She's in the fillies and mares. She's in the long distance cup, I think they call it, on Champions Day, and the pre-Royal Oak is a possibility as well. But you know, it's whatever I do with her next will be done with next year in mind. That's for sure.
David, have you spoken to the boss?
Oh yeah. He's obviously absolutely overjoyed, and I'd just like to take this opportunity on behalf of him and his brothers to thank the legal team who've done an amazing job, both Andrew Chalk and Graham McPherson, and particularly to pay tribute to the phenomenal training performance that Rafe did on this filly, to get her to where she's a classic winner, our first British classic winner, having been second in a couple of thousand guineas before. It's seemed like a very long time in coming. And to Andrea for the, he took some judgments in that race that undoubtedly won us the race. And it's nice to finally get it. There's no question that it's been a very tough 11 days for Sheikh Fahad as well. We had to jump straight on a plane to go for the Irish Champion Stakes, which looked a little bit at the time like we were running away from Doncaster, but we weren't at all. We had no choice to get there, and we literally got there as the Irish Champion Stakes horses were being led back into the paddock. So it was very, very tough for him. And it's a testament to him that he got straight back up on the podium and presented a trophy so quickly after what was the greatest success of his racing career and also the greatest disappointment. And that's the only sad thing, really, that he, Rafe, all of us here feel is that these things come about so rarely. When they come, you want to be able to celebrate them immediately and hard. And Kevin wasn't able to open a bottle of champagne, which we should all have been doing, and really enjoying the moment. So we're on with that. We've got a very, very nice filly. We've got very, very enthused Sheikh Fahad and his brothers, and the season's all over. Champion State of April.
William Hill, the home of betting.